What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie back with another episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Well, if you couldn't tell, we watched the most recent preseason game for Manchester United against
Rosenborg.
Rosenborg.
Yeah.
So, I mean, crazy game. So
Yeah.
we'll get right into it. It was a 5-0 win for United in this
Facts.
preseason
Yeah.
match. And yeah, Millie, so what would be your overview, I guess, of that, or just however you want to get into it,
Yeah. Well,
really?
of course, it's preseason, so not a lot of pressure, not a lot of expectation, but kind of great time and an opportunity to see a little bit of what we might get next season, a little bit of the youth players that are potentially breaking through and might be, getting in some first team minutes next season. But also we kind of get a little glimpse at the fitness of some of the key first team guys.
Mm,
Everybody who's still here in England,
in
in
the
Manchester,
UK.
for like preseason. So
Yeah.
all of those guys like Maguire, Shaw, Brian Membo, Xerxes, all of those guys, kind of those guys that we know are going to have big roles in the starting 11 next year.
Hmm.
Some of them are already back, so we kind of get a little glimpse into them and how they're looking. So yeah, preseason's been great, of course, on MUTV. Is how we've been keeping
Yeah.
up, but yeah, it's been great. It's the second match. It was a great day, great,
Yes,
good overall
genuinely.
game. So I know the results don't really hold any weight or matter that much in preseason,
Still
but
exciting.
yeah, but again, for a 5-0 victory, and the way United played throughout the match was just fantastic.
Yeah, talk to me more about that.
I mean, well, I mean, again,
Talk about some star players or,
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like, how long you want me to just ramble on for? Do you
Well,
want to pull up your notes?
yeah, of
But
course.
yeah, I mean, I think anytime there's essentially two completely different 11s used in a game, it's gonna kind of be a half of a tale of each starting 11 group.
Hmm.
But today we got to see the starting guys go a little bit longer. They played for about 60 minutes today, which I think, again, it's fantastic. We're getting them into that match fitness, slowly working them towards that 90-minute fitness. So that's immensely important. But yeah, it's hard not to acknowledge the youth players, and the performance they had. Not only Shea Lacey scoring the first goal of preseason,
Hmm.
and a great finish and his impact in the first half, but all of the other young players that were involved, after the 60-minute mark, that came on and influenced the game and upheld the standard. It was just fantastic. So
Yeah.
all in all, it was a great performance, really great organization from the group, from Carrick, and there was no drop off in performance or intensity, from the starting a group to the younger guys. So yeah, great to see.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Well, kind of thinking about the formation that United went
Yeah.
in with,
Mm-hmm.
I know it was the 4-3-2-1.
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm. You were close. You were
um,
close.
but I guess I don't really know the right question to ask, but I know
Yeah.
you had mentioned that they were really strong defensively
Yeah.
throughout the game. So how
Yeah.
did that play a part into it, the formation, or was that
Mm.
kind of just the players
Yeah,
themselves?
I mean, I think the formation that Carrick has chosen, I think it fits the group really well, even without key players in the group right now. Obviously, missing Menu, Bruno, et cetera, et cetera. Like, even missing those players, you can
Mm-hmm.
still see the intention behind the way Carrick wants this group to play. The organization with Mason Mount and Santos in the midfield, it's working beautifully. I mean, Mason Mount is fantastic picking up the ball in tight spaces, switching the point of attack, brilliant in the midfield. Like, his composure has really surprised me. Again, not just at the end of the past season, but now even continuing that into preseason. Mason Mount looks extremely sharp, and I think good on him. He's now put himself in contention, to potentially be starting games, or
Mm.
and I think that speaks volumes to his ability. But again, he's playing in a deeper role right now.
Okay.
So he's essentially playing as the six. As we know, we don't have Casemiro anymore.
Right.
But Mason Mount has adjusted brilliantly. I mean, yes, he would probably prefer to be joining in the attack more and getting into the attack, but he's still finding his moments to do so, while ultimately dictating the flow of the game. And he did a really great job of that. Also, Santos, another phenomenal performance from him.
He's the new signing.
Yeah, he's the new signing from
and
Chelsea.
Where did he play?
He is like a midfielder as well, like a 8, so to speak. So kind of box to box, but he can also play as a 6. Him and Mason Mount are pretty fluid when they're in there together.
Got it.
But yeah, today I think not only his athleticism, but he's great on the defensive end of the ball. But he's always looking to play through the lines, to look forward and pass forward. And that is so important for our midfielders and for the way that Manchester United wants to play. Because, Carrick he wants United to play possession-based football, but he wants it to be possession with intention. The purpose behind the possession is always to try and score a goal. And I think that got highlighted throughout this match. That United is never going to settle for a goal. They're always going to be trying to score again, hurt them. And I think that was highlighted in the second half. I mean, yes, it's a youth academy. Yes, they're trying to prove something, but every attack they had, the numbers they were sending forward, it was serious.
Yes.
They were going forward with the intention to score. And score they did.
Yes, they did. Yeah. That was 4 goals in the second half?
Yeah, 4 goals in the second half. Yeah, pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I know. 4 is crazy. And it was nuts. They switched the whole starting 11
around 60-minute mark. So the first subs around halftime, Harry Maguire came off, Luke Shaw came off. And then that was when what's his name again? I lost it. I forget his
so much. Jaden Camison?
Yeah, Camison. So Jaden Camison came in on the right, playing right back, and Harry Amos came in on the left and played left back. So those were the 2 substitutions at halftime. We saw Lenny Euro then slide from right back to center back during that time and partner up with Aiden Heaven. So that was kind of the shift then. But again, there was no drop off at halftime, even with the substitutions. I mean, Harry Amos looks like he belongs. I mean, he is looking like someone who wants to compete for that position.
Wow.
I mean, he's athletic, he's strong, and he's aggressive. And I mean, those are great characteristics of an outside back. Outside back. Yeah. But not just that. It's also the fact that he wants to score. The goal that was assisted by... I just said his name.
Are you talking about the guy from before, Camison?
Yeah, all right. So Camison, outside back, assisted Harry Amos all the way across with his assist. It went straight across the front of goal. But again, it highlights that Harry Amos was willing to commit to the attack for the left back to be all the way up, closing the back post and to finish an opportunity. It highlights that he wants to get forward. And same with Camison. I mean, he got 2 assists on the night, but again, from the right back position, constantly wanting to get forward, wanting to attack, wanting to join the attack. And it just makes the team more dangerous. And it was massively effective. But not just that, throughout the match, even before the second half started, I mean, the way that United is playing is brilliant. I mean, looking into the midfield, playing through the midfield, utilizing those players, quick switches in point of attack. It is exactly what you want to be seeing. I mean, today there was really no notes to the football that was being played.
I was going to ask if you had any constructive feedback.
For the first 10 or so minutes of the game, Rosenborg definitely had more of the ball and kind of had forced United back a little bit. But again, United was in a very solid defensive shape, with Maguire at the back calling the shots. The back 4 was in perfect shape. The midfield was connected. They weren't losing track of runners. So even though, again, it was only for the first 10 minutes of the entire match, but during those 10 minutes when Rosenborg did have the ball, United was comfortable. They were in a very solid and strong defensive shape, and they never were threatened. So it was okay. They let them have the ball. And then United started working their way into the game, started winning the ball back, started creating chances with Membo, with Xerxes. It was fantastic. Like, they truly built into the game and then took it over and never let go.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I really love to hear that because I sometimes feel like, teams can focus on one thing or the other, like attacking or defending. I feel like even in the World Cup, we talked about that with certain teams where it's like, okay, yeah, you can attack and be like really strong in your attack, but maybe your defensive players, your defensive shape or
Yeah.
something isn't working, and then you're
Right.
getting scored on and whatever.
Exactly.
But it's really great to hear that United is focusing on building a really strong defense and also
Yeah.
like really focusing on
Yeah.
attack.
100%.
That's what you need.
100%. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Michael Carrick, he knows that the best way to defend is to have the ball. That's the way Spain just won the World Cup.
Mhm.
It is the best, most surefire way. Obviously, yes, teams are going to give up chances in games. But if when United does give up chances, it's from controlled situations, that's okay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And also, you know, Rosenborg is a team that's in the middle of their season right now. So it was really good to play against a team like this that's kind of at like the height of their fitness, essentially. So again, really highlighted the work rate from the United players, the fitness of the United players throughout the match. They didn't lose a single battle, a single second ball, fighting for everything all over the pitch.
That's awesome.
And it's highlighting not only is Carrick's program working in terms of like his fitness, his conditioning in the preseason, but it highlights the mentality that Carrick is instilling in this group, not just in the guys involved in the starting 11, but also in the youth academy players who are getting this opportunity. I mean, the mentality, the work rate, the commitment for the badge is unbelievable.
Yeah,
and again,
truly.
I know it's preseason, I know it's early, but the reality is this is a serious United team.
Yeah.
Carrick has all of the mechanisms that he needs to really create a very special season for United. And the commentators were talking about it today on the MUTV, and they were highlighting just how many players were missing. Missing Bruno, missing Cunha, missing Rashford, missing Mainu, missing all of these names, right? And despite that, United is still playing the way that they want to play, which is dominant football with a purpose, dominant throughout the match, purposeful throughout the match. I mean, it's brilliantly done. There's no drop off in the absence, you know? That was something we kind of chatted about in the first preseason game against Wrexham, that you could kind of notice that there were little holes in our team and some players missing. But this week, it's like everything was plugged up.
Yeah.
There was an immediate improvement from last week to this week, which again, it just speaks volumes of Michael Carrick and what he is doing with this club.
Well, right, because it's not only, you know, like going through games and seeing maybe what could change and everything, but it's also making those intentional changes, going through training intentionally on like where do we need to improve, and then coming to games with intention. And like you said, there's no I just lost my train of thought. But kind of just like off of what you were saying, I was kind of thinking of it as like the intentionality behind what they're doing. Like the whole team is coming into the game with intention of like, we're gonna score, we're gonna attack and defend and do everything in between
for the badge. It wasn't giving preseason energy at all. You know, the lads were playing as if this game mattered and as if it was important, and that's really key in this season coming up, because again, there is going to be a massive difference from when United is playing PSG in the Champions League from when we turn around and go play Carlton in the League Cup. You know what I mean? There's going to be a massive discrepancy in the competition between the two, but every single game matters. Every single game has to be taken seriously, and it is shown that Carrick is already instilling that mindset in these United players, because it didn't matter if it was Rosenborg or City, right? They showed up to play and showed up with the intentionality to win the game. And that's really important, I think.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess that's kind of like the overview broadly. But yeah, I guess now I can get into some of my top performers and all of those good things.
I had a random question about like specific player, because I wasn't sure who was in goal for United today.
So we started with Vitek in goal, and then switched to he at the 60-minute mark when all the substitutions. It was either he or me. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it was literally just a 3-letter last name.
That's fine. I was just like, I forgot to ask you about that. Because were there a lot of shots on? No, so they didn't really get a whole lot of...
The other team hit the crossbar once, but again, that segment of play in which they hit the crossbar, it came from a play in which one of our center backs was fouled. You know, he got shoved down in the back, and then the guy like picked up the ball and then crossed it in. So it would have been called back anyway had it been like a real game. But
Okay.
that was like one of the opportunities they had in which they hit the crossbar, and then they had one shot, but it was very comfortable. Keeper caught it, two hands,
Okay,
two hands,
nice.
safe, comfortable.
Okay,
And
so
then I think they
not
had a
too
shot
much
from
for them.
distance. Yeah, it wasn't too crazy.
Okay.
I think I can comfortably say United was dominant for 99%
Yeah,
of the
sounds
game.
like defense was on it today.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and again, not just defensive wise. It's not
Mhm.
like we were sat in defending, but you know, every time United lost the ball when we were in possession or in the attack, the urge to win the ball back was immense. So we
Love
were winning
that.
the ball back in fantastic places all over the field, higher up the field, in the midfield, and yeah, just really prevented them from creating anything dangerous, anything substantial. There wasn't any moments where I was like, they should have scored. It wasn't like that. It was
Okay.
like United defended through and through, but defended through possession because we had the ball for 80% of the game.
Love that.
Yeah,
Genuinely love that.
so yeah, that was fantastic.
Yes, that's amazing.
Mhm.
But getting back into what you were saying before with your star players.
Yeah. Well, I guess yeah, I mean, I'll just go straight up the line from the back. So Vitak, I mean, I don't know if he was reading a book, tying his shoe. He could have taken a nap. Broski didn't do anything. I mean, some distribution, but
he was there.
it was a very, very quiet half for Vitak. He was
Okay.
smooth chilling, operating back there.
Valid.
So no real notes there. But let's see, Maguire and Heaven, I gotta say, just a fantastic center back duo.
Love.
Maguire, again, shafted by the English national team not to be called up. He was more than deserving of an English national team call up. And he proves that every time he steps on the pitch. I mean, he's sharp in his touch, sharp in his tackle. He's looking for progressive passes through the midfield. And yeah, he's just a leader through and through. So Maguire is going to have an immense role to play for this United group throughout this season. And yeah, today is just, again, highlighting that. It's great, obviously, when Bruno's out, he's rocking the armband, and he deserves that. He's such a leader on the team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Maguire was great. Aiden Heaven is
talk to me about
the future. He is the future.
Yeah.
Like, I know Martinez is injured. We want Martinez to get a speedy recovery,
of course,
but I'm really not worried. I'm not worried because we have Aiden Heaven, who could arguably be starting in the same position. I mean, Aiden Heaven is fantastic. He is brilliant in the air, tackling ability bar none.
Yes.
And so composed on the ball. I mean, we are past the days of United center backs pinging the ball, when they're under pressure, and feel, the composure is real back there. And Aiden Heaven embodies that. I think he's such a special defender. Euro at the right back today was actually massively improved even from last week. Again, it's a little bit of that weirdness seeing him booking it down the line, but Euro was fantastic.
Okay.
Today was probably the first time. He also had a chance that hit the crossbar off a Brian Mbembo free kick, so that was lit for Euro. He was so close. But yeah, I mean, seeing him join the attack, getting in, I think he's getting more used to it. Look, he's got the fitness, he's got the tackling ability, and as he continues to go forward more, he's going to get used to those offensive actions, such as crosses and shooting and those sorts of things.
Yes,
so if that's something that Carrick envisions for Lenny Euro, I think it could potentially work. Again, at the end of the day, what's his name came in for the second half and was fantastic at right back and showed a lot of attacking prowess and composure in the attack as well. So he could potentially be a right back option too for United going forward, just again based on the performances that we're seeing so far. But yeah, I thought Lenny was great.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
It sounds like Carrick is really encouraging everyone to just attack. Why not? I just feel like that's something that we talk about, is just taking the responsibility. It doesn't matter who you are on the field. If you find yourself in a position where you can shoot the ball, just shoot the ball. Exactly. Why not? Anybody should feel confident to do that.
Exactly. It's such an important part of the game, because then anybody can hurt the other team.
Exactly.
And that's all we want.
Keep them on their toes.
Facts. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that was Lenny Euro. Again, I think he was fantastic when he slid into center back as well. I think center back is probably his favorite and most natural position.
Okay.
And he's got steep competition, obviously, when Harry Maguire is in front of you. That's tough.
Yeah.
But again, it's a long season. There's a ton of games. So Lenny
Yeah.
Euro is going to be an important part of our team, regardless of if he's starting every
100%.
match or, whatever it looks like. So
yeah.
yeah.
Because at the very least, Maguire can't play 90 minutes every single game. So.
No, he cannot.
Can he even do 90 minutes in one game now? Or does he?
Yeah,
he still does.
He's
okay,
fit. He's
okay.
fit. He'll be good for 90 minutes. But again, what worries me with Maguire, just again, not calling him old. I'm not. I don't mean this in the ageist way when I say because of his age, but due to his age, I don't think that he'll be playing those Saturday to Wednesday matches. You know what I mean? Or potentially Saturday to Tuesday matches in the Champions League. Just because of the wear and tear on his legs.
And it's not even ageist. It's just like acknowledging the fact that as you get older, your muscles and your internal bodily repair is slower. So you naturally cannot do the same things as a 20-year-old.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
So, not ageist.
So yeah. But yeah, Maguire is fantastic. And we know that.
Yeah,
he's such a good defender. Luke Shaw. First half, I mean, Luke Shaw is just really solid. Great defender, really sturdy on the ball. Really no notes for Luke Shaw. He just puts in a good shift every time he's out on the pitch. And again, he wasn't really challenged much defensively on the defensive end. But going forward, doing what Luke Shaw does. Again, we didn't really play with a true number 9 like Sheshko today. So, it wasn't really the game to be whipping crosses in.
Got it.
So didn't really see much of that going on. But that's fine. I mean, obviously, when we're not playing with a true out and out number 9, we're not going to be whipping crosses to nobody. So,
yeah, valid.
so that was fine for Lukey. Already kind of touched on Santos and Mason Mount in the midfield. I thought they were unbelievable. I'm really, really excited for Mason Mount.
Awesome.
There's been a lot of talk about him online, feeling that he hasn't quite lived up for the transfer fee from Chelsea, whatever. At the end of the day, I think he hasn't been fit. And now we're seeing what a fit Mason Mount looks like. And he is looking like an asset to our team. And inevitably, that's what we want. We want players who can contribute to winning the Premier League, who can contribute to winning the Champions League, because that's all that matters at United. So it doesn't matter what role he comes to play in that. I think he can fill any role that is bestowed upon him very well. Same with Santos. I mean, yeah. I mean, to have just gotten to the club, Santos just stepped through the door like a week ago.
And already performing really well and meshing with the team.
Yeah, 100%. He's got the intensity. The teammates trust him. They find him when he's open, and it's remarkable. You wouldn't think the guy just came from a different club not too long ago.
That is pretty crazy.
Brilliant.
Good on him.
Yeah. Facts, 100%. And then today we saw a little bit of fluidity with the attacking forward group. So that's why I won't necessarily pin, a last midfielder.
That's fair.
On the team sheet, it looked like Xerxes was playing in that number 10, kind of as a withdrawn false forward.
Okay.
But obviously we had Membo up top. Again, on the team sheet, Membo was parked as the 9. With Shea Lacey on the right and Dorgu on the left. But throughout the match, we saw a lot of fluidity with Xerxes and Membo. They were both sliding all over the place. Shea Lacey was shifting all over. Dorgu was shifting all over. And this is what I've been asking for forever.
Yes.
The fluidity in the attack. Having players shifting and moving at different points, making different runs, cutting inside, switching positions. Their back four was lost. They didn't know what to do. Xerxes was dropping off into the midfield and finding himself in acres of space.
Wow.
That's how Shea Lacey's goal scored. Wow. But they found Xerxes in the midfield because he had dropped off, peeled off. Nobody followed him. He had a year and some change of time, turned, picked up his head, moved the ball forward 3-4 touches, slips a perfect pass through to Lacey, who was massively composed, beats his defender and passes it into the corner.
That's amazing.
Or I guess curls it into the corner. But yeah, it was just
That's
brilliant.
So fun.
Yeah,
That's
it was just
so fun to watch too.
Yeah, it really was. Membo, not only the pressure that he puts on the ball, but he leads the press of United. So when we don't have the ball, he's so quick to be the first one to apply pressure. And it's like the pressure he applies messes up the passer a little bit. So then their pass is slightly off, and then boom, we've won the ball. It comes off of those lines of
Wow.
pressure higher up the field. It puts everybody on their team just a little bit off, which gives us just a little bit more of that edge to win the ball back.
We love.
And a lot of that starts with Brian Mbembo. I think a lot of his work off the ball goes unnoticed, but it's massively important to the way the team plays and the way we win the ball back.
Okay.
So yeah, he had a very key role. But yeah, it was just fantastic seeing everybody shifting and fluid up on the left. Dorgu popping up on the right. Lacey popping up on the left, popping up on the right. It was just crazy. When he scored his goal, he was on the right. But for a good portion of the half, he was operating on the left. You know what it was just great. Like, just fantastic to see. Switching up the matchup, switching up, the attacking patterns, and they were cooking. Like, again, the first half wasn't necessarily fruitful with a bunch of goals, but the goal we scored was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Great football from one end to the other. But the possession and the dominance that United had throughout the half as well just exemplified how confident they were in the way that they were playing.
Nice.
So yeah, just great. It was
awesome.
Great. And then, the second half kicked off with just the two changes. And then we kind of were starting to see more of the same. It started another ball into Xerxes in the midfield, had acres of space around him. He played out wide to Harry Amos. Harry Amos finds Xerxes back at the top of the 18. Xerxes drops the shoulder, cuts inside, takes out 3 defenders in the process, walks past the goalkeeper, and just says, "All right, I'm done with this."
Saucy.
Boop, boop. Yeah,
that's
just saucy.
Crazy.
Xerxes, man.
That's what we love to see, though. That's what we love to see.
Facts. It was great to see Xerxes get a goal and assist. He has so much potential. He's so saucy on the ball. His composure on the ball in those attacking moments is also brilliant.
Yeah.
And I really think that the way Carrick utilized him today, it really allowed Xerxes to excel, playing in that withdrawn role, allowing him to drop back underneath the lines of pressure and pick up the ball with no one around him so he could run with the ball at his feet and make things happen. It's just, again, another sign of playing a player to their strengths.
Yes.
And it works. It works. And yeah, Shea Lacey, of course, scoring the first goal of preseason.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take that with you. That's fantastic. Really sick. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Good for him. Because is he now on like the full team, or is he still on
I think he'll still be on that cusp this next year. Yeah, I think he'll still be on the cusp, but I could definitely see him getting more minutes this year for sure.
So cool.
Which would be well earned because Lacey doesn't look out of place at all. Defensively, he works immensely hard to win the ball back, but he also wants to attack every time he has the ball. He wants to score. He wants to create something. And that's just so important for attacking players at United. So yeah, he fits the bill. Fits the bill to a T.
Absolutely. Which we really love to see. I feel like, that's what we need at United. Just people who are here for the badge.
Yeah.
And people who are ready to just like put it out there.
Yeah. So kind of rapid fire through the past the 60-minute mark now. So obviously all the substitutions happened. It was basically a clear house at that point. All of the known starters were off the field. So Zerk, Dort, all those guys, they were taken out. And then the goals started coming.
Yes.
They started leaking. I mean, almost immediately, the youth squad wins a corner kick. It was like one of the first actions they had after the massive group of substitutions was made. And they scored off the corner kick.
Crazy.
I think his name was Jacob Duvernay, defender in the right place, right time. Ball drops down, and he did a great job just finishing it, just being in the right place. And it was basically the first action for all of the lads that had just subbed on. So really positive start to them getting on. But again, they were keyed in with the momentum, with the vibe of the game. So when they came onto the pitch, there was no let off the gas pedal. They immediately applied pressure, which is how they won the corner, which is how they scored the goal.
That's so cool. Yeah. I'm wondering, do you think that any of that like cohesiveness and like ready to attack from the youth players, do they play together already? Is that something that you think plays into their ability to kind of just come out immediately and put the like
Yeah.
pedal to the metal sort of thing?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. They're so comfortable with one
Yeah.
another.
Okay. I was like, that was just
Yeah, it'd be
wondering because
hard
I
not
was
to.
like,
And I believe they won a trophy last year
oh
with
wow,
their team,
okay,
with the Fletcher twins. Again, just fantastic. I mean, yeah, a lot of those guys in that second half, you can tell they've played together.
got it.
You can tell they're comfortable with one another. You can tell they know how to lean on their teammates when needed. So yeah, the group is they're great. They definitely have that
Got
cohesiveness.
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense. I was just
yeah.
kind of curious about
Hmm.
that, just like with regards to obviously the first half, it's a lot of the players who have come to United
Right.
from
Yep.
other teams and other clubs, but
Yeah.
obviously the youth squad is coming up through like the youth
Yeah.
academy and everything.
Exactly.
So I wasn't sure how maybe long they've played together, but I'm assuming they kind of
Wow.
grow
Yeah.
up together
Yeah.
playing.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe that plays into their ability to do that a little
Definitely.
bit, but
I
that's
think
really
so.
like showcasing of their abilities as well and
Facts.
how they play as a unit, which is
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
exactly. And I mean, the bravery to show up in these games, being the younger lads, and still, put out
Yes.
performances like that. And again, highlighting how Carrick believes in the three core pillars of our club, which is youth, courage,
Yes.
success. Yeah,
Look
so
at
the
it.
youth was there.
Look at
So yeah, they scored the early goal. I kind of already walked through what happened with the assists from the right back to the left
it.
back. It was where's my guy's name? Camison picked up 2 assists.
We'll
I
remember
swear I'm gonna remember your name
eventually.
soon, my brother. It's just because it was the first time. But yeah, Camison picked up 2 assists from the right back position. Absolutely brilliant. Again, highlighting the dominance that United had to be that high up the pitch for the right back to be overlapping and
Hmm.
joining the attack in those moments. United really committed numbers forward for all of the attacks, and they were rewarded for that. And also, Obi was
Oh
fantastic today.
yes.
Came in as the number 9, great hold up play, great, you know, connecting play as well with his teammates around, receiving the ball, playing wide, laying it off to midfielders. He was great. I mean, I was so happy to see him. He looks more athletic, more maybe a little bit leaner than last season,
Okay.
and he just looks light on his feet. I mean, he's moving, but he's still so strong. I mean,
Okay.
you're seeing a full-grown center back struggle to move Obi, who's
Dang.
bodying him up.
Okay, so maybe I don't know, how old is he? Is he a
I think he's
youth?
like 18.
Okay, so maybe
Yeah,
he grew into his body a little
yeah, a
more.
little bit
Because I feel
more.
like
So
you're talking about like the awkwardness almost.
yeah,
He
he was a
almost was
little
like
awkward.
goofy in
Yeah,
his body
yeah.
before, but now
Before.
he's really like probably put on some muscle, some weight,
Exactly.
and like
Yeah.
built into
So
his
yeah, I'm
body.
I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see what Obi's contribution will be, because he is, will be a fantastic number 9 when he gets called upon. And we didn't really get to see him in front of goal too much, but
Okay.
again, I think it's important to highlight the work that's happening off the ball, away from the goal, because those are also very positive actions for
Yeah,
these players.
absolutely. Well, I
Yeah,
also feel like that's what kind of preseason is for as well, to show you
exactly.
like
Everything.
everything, it's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
just
The goals.
goals
Yeah,
and those sorts of actions, but it's
exactly.
also, like you said, kind of their ability to, I guess, have a presence on the field.
Yeah, yeah, have a presence. That's such a good way to put it, for
Thank
real.
you.
And then Ethan Williams, a guy we've been seeing for a long time, for the last couple of years. He's been one of the first to kind of break through. He also grabbed a
Mm.
goal.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, the 5-0 score line, it really exactly reflected the football match. I
Nice.
mean, United was dominant from 11 minutes on, dominated the entire match, comfortable in possession, wanting to attack, wanting to score goals. The youth players kept the intensity
Mm,
when they joined the game. It was just all around a great watch.
I love
Just
that.
fantastic for preseason. Again, we talked about this after the first preseason match. We don't necessarily want to see United firing on all cylinders right now, because it
No.
is so
No.
early, and because it is preseason, and because these games don't matter. But it is giving us insight as to what the squad, what Carrick is working
Yep.
towards. And we can very clearly see the vision. The football Carrick wants to play, the way he wants his team to defend, the way he wants his team to possess, and the way he wants his team to attack, to manage games. fantastic.
Yeah.
No notes.
No notes.
So
Love that.
Michael Carrick done it again. Absolute masterclass. It's just making me more and more excited for the new season.
Giddy,
I'm just excited for
Swinging
day
your
one.
feet and shit.
You're funny. So next preseason match is against Atletico Madrid. So this will be the most intense competition we've seen so far in preseason. So this will really be like a good test for the group, for the lads, and will really kind of show us where they're at. So I'm excited for this test against Atletico Madrid, which is the next preseason match.
Okay.
But I think today, hats off, round of applause for the lads. That was fantastic. Yeah, really great work.
Killed it.
But yeah, so those were our thoughts on Manchester United's preseason match against Rosenborg. It was a 5-0 victory for Carrick's Reds. But on top of the 5-0, there was a lot of fantastic football that went into it. So it was a performance to be proud of, regardless of the fact that it's preseason. Yes. So well done, United.
Absolutely. So if you made it this far,
thanks for watching.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.